What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I want to talk about horseplay, right? And why you don't horseplay in prison. How many times have you seen growing up, like in the neighborhood or with your friends, whatever? How many times have you seen somebody horseplay and it turned into a real fight? Even when I was in YA, I remember when dudes would say, hey, let's go chest. And that's when you sock each other just in the body, or they'll say, let's go bodies. And you can, sock each other in the bodies. And while people are punching, one slips, bam, hits somebody on the chin. What's he gonna do? He's gonna fire back and hit you on the chin. Next thing you know, it's a full-blown fist fight. And so that's one of the reasons, right? But I want to tell you a story. In California Department of Corrections, you're not supposed to put your hands on and if you're Mexican from Southern California, you're not supposed to put your hands on another homie, period. It's to stop bullying. It's to stop a lot of stuff, man. Because if people are allowed to put their hands on their celly, people can wind up getting punked, wind up getting bullied. And it could wind up just being a good dude. He's just outmatched, outweighed, whatever it is, and loses the fight. And who knows what happens after that, right? So it's frowned upon. Well, I want to tell you of an incident that occurred in New Folsom. And this was a while back. This was 96. And this was on one of the group yards. So you had the Southerners and the whites out there on the yard. And that's say, there was a dude on the yard. Pretty big dude. I'm going to say his name. I don't like the dude. I didn't like him then. And then really didn't like him, after a couple incidents back there. But I was still on B facility when this happened. This was right before I went back there, but we all heard about it for a reason. So this dude's name is Beast, right? And Beast was one of them big ass dudes, and he had that mean look. He's the stereotypical, the prototype for what a convict's gonna look like in a movie. That's what Beast looked like, right? Beast was from a barrio in the Inland Empire. And there's a lot of people who know who he is because people have mentioned him in the comments. So anyways, everybody's on the yard. And this is after the workout. And people are playing handball. And people are just, on the side bullshitting. Well, Beast happened to be standing with some woods, right? And some homies. And they're talking. And actually the llavero, the guy for the Southerners who was calling the shots for that ad seg, for that hole, was squatted down in front of Beast. And everybody was kind of hanging around with him. I knew that dude really good. He was a big ass dude. You had Beast standing here. Next to him was a wood. Next to that wood was his celly. So while everybody's right there chopping it up, bullshitting, whatever, the wood, who's not the ones on the opposite side of, or not, the one who's on the other side of the wood next to Beast, turns around and starts watching the handball game that's going on behind them. Beast and the wood next to him, the other wood celly, are looking at the homie, talking, and Beast decided he was going to horseplay with the wood standing next to him. And the tendon that you have right here, the muscle, whatever it is, people my age or older, some people call it the Spock, because on Star Trek he did that, he would pinch it and people would fall out. Well, Beast reached over and pinched him right there on that tendon. And the wood, not expecting it, and it hurts. And I'm sure Beast was an asshole. So I'm sure Beast pinched it pretty hard. So he reached over, he pinched it, and the wood went like this. And he yelled, right? His celly spins around and he sees, all he sees is his celly grabbing his neck, what he thinks is his neck, after he screamed. What's he gonna think automatically? Beast whacked him. Beast must have stuck him in the neck. So he rushed up, he went around his celly and he hits Beast with a 2-piece. Beast drops flat on his ass. His legs are sticking out in front of him like this, right? And he's dazed. He's sitting there and the whole yard froze for a second, and Beast spits. His 2 front teeth come out. And they said it was like a fraction of a second, like everybody that was around him looked at the teeth and looked at him, and boom, the whole yard. It's going. The whites and the southerners are now full-blown melee. Everybody on the little mini yard, and there's probably 18 dudes maybe on that yard, and they're all going at it. The homie Shanky, I've mentioned him in a few videos, and people try to correct me when I mention Shanky and Sharky. Sharky got killed in the riot in Pelican Bay. Shanky got killed in the riot in New Folsom. This was before he got killed, obviously. He was out there. There was a Wood out there who became a legend for the whites a few years later. He's out there. You had some serious cats on that yard, man. And there they all are, locking horns, getting busy. The cops screaming, "Get down! Get the fuck down!" The gunner, he's dumping out the window, starting with the 37 millimeter launcher or 40 millimeter launcher, whatever they call them. We call him Big Bertha, and he's shooting the rounds into the yard. Boom, 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 boom. It looks like a big Tommy gun. Has a big drum on it, and then he's just dumping in there. Boom, 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 boom. And I know for a fact he fired off at least one live round from the Mini 14. And I believe that's when everybody stopped. After that incident, there was no beef. There was no... Beast fucked up. Beast should have not been horseplaying with that dude, period. Shouldn't have put his hand on that dude. And that's one of the reasons why in there you don't horseplay, and you damn sure don't horseplay with another race. Because it could have easily turned into something where that live shot could have hit somebody in the head. If it would have hit a white dude, I'm sure the whites would have felt they had to continue. Because it would have been Beast's fault. But I think if something that serious would have happened, Beast would have got dealt with by the homies. And honestly, I don't know why the call wasn't made to have Beast disciplined for that. Putting everybody's life in jeopardy. I'll go ahead. I wasn't planning on it, but I'll go ahead and so you guys know, I didn't like Beast. Beast was on my yard group. When I got back there, I was on his yard group, and he walked around with his 2 fucking front teeth missing for being stupid. And he acted like he was a tough guy, and I didn't care for it whatsoever. I don't think any of the homies on the yard gave a fuck about him. We had to tolerate him. He was an idiot. And after the riot on B facility, they slammed Ad Sag. Ad Sag was actually on lockdown for, I know, at least 2 months. We were on lockdown back there. No yard. We would, obviously, they had to shower us and shit. But there was no group yard. And I remember one day, because I had moved from A section to B section. And Beast was in C section. I was in the last cell. No, second to the last cell in B section, close to the C section lower door. And I remember one day we were bullshitting. My cellie was Kong from Orange County at the time. And we could hear somebody screaming for help. And you could tell it was like a muffled scream. And we were like, what the fuck? And what had happened was Beast sucker punched his cellie from behind and then tried to sexually assault him. You know, and obviously he got washed up after that. I don't remember what happened to the vato. I remember where he's from. Don't remember his name. But the vato that was yelling help, I remember it being kicked around that he needed to get whacked for being a coward and not fighting to the death. It wasn't sure if anything really happened to him, because obviously Beast wasn't going to admit to that, and that vato wasn't going to say that. But if I remember right, Beast, when he sucker punched him from behind, he broke his jaw and tried to take them cakes. That's the only time in my whole over 2 decades in California Department of Corrections that I heard of a Mexican trying to do that to another Mexican. And that vato Beast, he was a punk. He was a coward. He was way bigger than his cellie and still got him from behind. And then literally tried to get him from behind. Had he been hit on the first incident, the second incident wouldn't have happened. Like I said, I can't remember what happened to the dude that was screaming for help. But I know there was talk of hitting him for being a coward or screaming for help and not fighting for his life. Anyways, that's just another glimpse into prison. Another reason why people don't, or one of the reasons why people aren't allowed to horseplay. How serious it can turn into, excuse me. It's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.